All right, party crashes, be aware, because you're in for a surprise. After running parties for over 22 years in San Francisco, I've seen every trick imaginable. And I've developed a bulletproof system to combat them. One security breach can crash your party and ruin your reputation in a flash. Today, I'm sharing 3 foolproof methods to keep the party crashers out because I lost over $10,000 in my career by not doing so. Today, we'll cover security team management, advanced ticketing validation, and entrance procedures that make your parties almost impenetrable. If you like to know more about these things and other things that involved in party planning, click the link below right now and you can set up a call with me. Let me tell you my first experience with the security team management. So, I worked from small events to big events where sometimes the security team was like 50, 60 people. And you need to have first of all, you need to have a very good relationship with them, but you also need to understand that sometimes they have to hire in people that are not so well trained with them. And that's actually what happened on one of the events we had. It was a large event. We had over 3,000 people there, and it was a multi-level event, and also smoking areas outside where they had roped things off and other entrances and stuff like that. So what actually happened in this case was that one of my friends, good close friends, came to me during the party. He says, "Alf, the security guard tried to bribe me to get in through there, but with only paying $20." I said, "You got to kidding me? You got to be kidding me!" Because we were charging $65 at the door, and he pointed out the security guard to me, and of course, I immediately removed him. I'm not going to tell you what I did after that, but it didn't get pretty for him. I can promise you that. And so, if you're not on top of your security team and can trust them, you really are in for a surprise. So, one of the things you could do here, you can actually bait some of these guys as well to see if they would go for it. I actually told that this wasn't actually a smart move on my end. I told the security team that I would plant some people. It's better to do this on the low because you also don't want to know them to know that you don't trust them because that's going to ruin the energies. That was a mistake I learned from, so don't do it that way. But have some people of your own cohorts that they don't know that are outside there and might be trying to get in to see what these guys are trying. Because if that's happening, you want to stop that right away. So that is a big one. So that was a painful lesson that I learned, and now you don't need to make that mistake. Another way to combat that system is to develop a buddy system that no one security guard is by themselves at any time. So that, and you also switch them around to different positions. So, entrances. So, there's some things you can do there to do a double check. That's actually a smart thing to do. Another thing, you can create a financial incentive for these security guards because if we are managing to collect more money, we're also having more money to spend on having high quality security guards. But also, we can do a little kickback and bonus for them as well. Then we also invented some kind of a double check on certain things that my cashiers would know certain VIP passes that we used and they would recognize it because what happened one time, somebody took my Alf and Alf card that you may have seen in some other videos, that perforated VIP card, and they copied my card almost down to the T with colors and everything. So that was kind of crazy to see. And of course, we didn't discover that until after the party when we went over there how many guest passes and tickets came in, because we also collected information on those VIP passes with the name and phone number and email. But of course, they wouldn't put their real name on there because we could have caught them, right? So, but we saw the tickets being used, and my entrance people weren't picking up on that. I immediately picked up on it because I could see the difference. So one of the things to do then is make sure they're aware of those exact tickets so that you nail that down. Another thing you can also do, you can also scan the ticket towards a live database or people that are prepaid, so that you have a double check on that as well. And what another thing, and the third thing we actually did, we started installing cameras at the cashier point, both for us to make sure we didn't have any rogue cashiers, which could happen, but they were usually a very trusted teams, people trusting our money. But that's also what you could do, because then you could see people that are maybe have handed all over that pass, and you can zoom in on those things in a video. So when it comes to strategic entrance procedures, you want to have more than just one entry of entrance into a party. That way you can have a little bit more security and redundancy in it, which was also the case when we did such big parties, that you can't just have one entrance. And you want to have one entrance for your VIP passes, you want to have one entrance for your guest list, and one for the paid and one for the prepaid. So you can see how you need to be logistically really organized with these things and have lists and everything. And another quick tip here, when you have a guest list, so a couple of times actually the guest list disappeared or my VIP person lost it. Always have a backup. And the chances are for somebody checking off twice is very little, because you also will ask for a VIP for an ID. Now, another thing I learned the hard way, one of my main sponsors, he was a limousine guy, a big company in San Francisco. He would come with 10 of his friends to get him for free, obviously. Guess what? Somebody had used his name on the door, and the security guard or the VIP person that checked him in did not card this person. So that was a big mistake. So that's something we learned. And he couldn't get a hold of us because I'm not so reachable by phone during the party, which brings up another point, that you should always have a point person for you when you deal with these things, so that will always be able to answer, and that could go get me if need be. Remember, it only takes one breach to damage your reputation, but even worse, it could also crash your party, because if you get somebody in that's underage, not only you will suffer, but the venue also might come after you. So definitely pay close attention to what I've been telling you here today, because it has big ramification if you don't do it right. So now that you're learning more and more tricks of how to secure your events and avoid these party crashers, click below if you want to have a quick chat with me and see if this is something that you want to get into. I'm here for any questions you have, and I'm here to help you succeed. And my 22 years of experience should speak for itself. Did some of the biggest and best parties in San Francisco, very proud of it, and all kinds of different events, not just always nightclub events. So click below and I'll see you on the other side, and look forward to hearing from you. Take care.